Okay. Already we have knowledge, and using that let's say already we have experience, and the experience become knowledge. Okay. So rather than passing on our experience to our students and younger generation, let they themselves experience and they themselves construct knowledge. Okay. So this is said to be a constructive learning, and rather than teacher visiting Mahabalipuram and sharing his experience, let students themselves visit Mahabalipuram and let them share their experiences. So that is said to be constructive learning. And now, what are the consequences of constructivism? Okay, constructivism consequences. So there are 3 points: first point, second point, and third point. First point: students learn best when engaged in experiences rather than passively receiving information. Okay. Students learn best when engaged in learning experience rather than passively receiving information. So they learn, they change the positive change of behavior. That is learning only when they experience. Okay. So only when they experience, there is learning in a better way. Okay, rather than simply passing information, making them to sit in the classroom and passing information, let them go out of the classroom and let them learn. Okay, let them have experience. That is to be that is the result, and that is the consequence of constructive learning. So we have the better learning. So that is the first consequence. Learning is inherently a social process because it embedded within a social context. Students and teachers work together. So learning is inherently a social process. If we are alone, and then there is no use in it. When we work as a group, then we learn a lot. We are interested to learn, not only interested in learning, we learn a lot only when we work as a group. So learning is inherently a social process. Okay, so it is a development of society, it is a development of social. Okay, so learning is inherently a social process because it is embedded within a social context of students and teachers work together. So students, they themselves form a group, and the students and teachers form a group, and they build a knowledge, and that is specific constructive learning. So the society is improved when students go for constructive learning, and because knowledge can be directly imparted to students, the goal of teaching is to provide experiences that facilitate the construction of knowledge. Okay. So the third point is because knowledge cannot be directly imparted to students, the goal of teaching is to provide experiences. The knowledge cannot be directly imparted to students, the goal of teaching is to provide experiences that facilitate the construction of knowledge. So ultimately, the real teaching, the real education is that they themselves should be able to construct knowledge, they should become an original thinker, and that is possible only because of constructive learning. Okay, so நெருப்பு வந்து சுடும் அப்படின்றது சும்மா சொல்லிட்டு இருந்தப்ப பத்தாதது, அந்த நெருப்புடைய தன்மை அண்ட் ஒரு ஊதுவத்தி லைட்டாக எடுக்கிறது பார்த்தா ஆமாம் நல்லா சுடுது அப்படின்னு நானே சின்ன வயசில் எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கேன். அண்ட் தட் இஸ் டு பி த எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ். ஓகே, and by that experience only we learn, yes, it is the hot, it will hurt, it is painful. Okay, so that is that is said to be the experience, and then we construct knowledge. Fire will burn fire will burn. Okay, so and it hurts us. So that is said to be the knowledge, and this knowledge is made by when students themselves learn. Okay, so okay, light பாருங்க and then immediately water and ice அதெல்லாம் வச்சு safety இது பண்ணும்போது, and that is said to be real experience. Okay, and even child development, let the children have experience. அதுக்காக ஓகே இதான் நெருப்பு அப்படி சொல்ல வைக்கலாம் பாருப்பா அப்படின்னு நெருப்பு கிட்ட போகும்போது அந்த குழந்தை வந்து நெருப்பு வந்து சுட்டுக்கிட்டோம் அப்படின்னு நம்ம இது பண்ண முடியாது. அண்ட் வித் ஃபுல் சேஃப்டி ப்ரிகாஷன்ஸ் let the child experience it. Okay, and that is to be the experience அது பண்ணும்போது தான் and real learning, real education is given to students. Okay, so this is consequence, and we will compare traditional classroom and constructive classroom. What the teachers can do in traditional classroom and what the teacher can do in a constructive classroom. So first point, the curriculum begins with the parts of the whole, emphasis basic skills. So curriculum with the parts of the whole. The curriculum has its own objective, and it has its own teaching methodology and syllabus and textbook, and they emphasize basic skill. But in case of constructive classroom, curriculum emphasizes big concept, beginning with the whole and expanding to include the parts. So it emphasizes with basic skills. Traditional classroom emphasizes with the basic skills. That is maybe multiplication and learning alphabets. But constructive have classroom is a big emphasis big concept and on the whole, and then it is ever expanding one. Okay, so what is that in mass? If we learn what is there in mass, then we have to move on to what is there in Jupiter and Saturn, and we have to likewise we have to move on. Okay, so that is a little bit constructive for learning. But in case of numbers, in case of alphabets or multiplication, it is a limited one. Okay, there is no need for us to by heart a 15 table or something table or 23rd table. Let's say maximum 9 tables, that is enough. Okay, so let's say there is no need for if you want to multiply anything with 23, then we use calculator or we work out it. Okay, that is enough. And financially we need not 23 table and 100 table and 101 table, like that it will move on. Okay, let's say 9 tables, and that is till up to 10 tables, that runs by heart. Okay, but in case of that is basic learning, basic education should be done in a traditional classroom. But in case of wider knowledge and physics and chemistry and even maths, we need to have bigger concept, and definitely if you want a bigger concept, bigger learning, and it is ever expanding one, then we have to go for constructive classroom. So that is it is for bigger concept, constructive classroom is essential. And the second point, strict adherence to fixed curriculum is highly valued. Pursuit of student question and interest is valued. Okay, so in traditional classroom there is a curriculum and it is a fixed one and it should be followed. In case of constructive classroom, the student question and the student themselves answers those questions. What are the interest students, what are the questions, what are the doubts they have, and their interest is valued, and accordingly curriculum is prepared in a constructive classroom. Okay, and the third point, materials are primarily textbook and workbook. Materials include primary sources of material and manipulative material. Okay, in traditional classroom, textbook, a workbook is given. Okay, but in case of constructed classroom, let's say sources of the material, how the textbook is prepared. Say for example, if it is a social textbook and the history is there and the First World War, and the teachers who prepared the lesson for First World War, they would have taken from other historical books. They would have referred more than 10 historical books and prepared the lesson, First World War lesson. Okay, and students, rather than studying the material textbook prepared by the teacher, students themselves read the primary sources. That is, the teacher from where the teacher read those books and prepared the lesson for First World War. Students themselves read the primary source. All other books, all the 10 books which the teacher referred, and students themselves go to library and they refer all the 10 books, and then they themselves prepare the lesson for First World War. Okay, this is to be constructive learning. And but traditional classroom, the expert teacher, they go to library and they refer more than 10 books and they prepare a lesson for First World War. And the students read the lesson and they learn what is First World War, causes, consequences and results. Causes, course of war and the results. They themselves, students read the textbook prepared by the teacher, and which the teacher refers prepared after referring more than 10 books. Rather than making students to learn one textbook, let students go to library and they themselves read this and they themselves write the lesson for First World War. So this is to be constructive learning. So here the primary source itself become the material, but here the teacher, after referring the primary source, and he prepares a textbook. So that is to be in traditional classroom. And the fourth point is learning is based on repetition. Learning is interactive, building on what students already knew. Okay, so multiplication, A for apple, and it is learned because of repetition. But here learning is interactive. Okay, so teacher and student and the society and where you gather information, you interact with them and they construct, students themselves construct knowledge. Okay, and teachers, and the next point, teachers disseminate information to students. Students are recipient of knowledge. So here in traditional classroom, teachers, they disseminate knowledge. They tell the knowledge, they impart the information, and students simply receive the information and thus they get knowledge. But in case of constructive classroom, teachers have dialogue, they have interaction, they discuss with students, and teachers help the students to construct their own knowledge. Okay, so this is the information you gathered. So what do you think so? And this is how you have to think. Like this, teachers help the students, but in case of traditional classroom, teacher impart knowledge, they simply disseminate. So this is what A for apple, C for cat. So they themselves disseminate knowledge, but C for you yourself construct knowledge. Okay, C for caught. Okay, because C, ick sound and caught ick sound. So therefore the letter C indicates the ick sound, and the word caught also indicates ick sound, and therefore it is therefore we can also say C for caught also. Okay, B for ball, B for boy. We can say both B for ball and we can say B for boy. Okay, so in case of traditional classroom, the teacher says B for ball, and student doesn't know, yes, we can use B for ball also. Okay, so this is the case of traditional classroom. But in case of constructed classroom, and you can see teacher helps students to they themselves construct knowledge. Not only B for ball, B for boy also is correct. Okay, so because in both the cases there is the same sound. Okay, so that's how teachers help students in a constructive classroom. And teacher's role is directive rooted in authority. So here there is in traditional classroom, teacher have more authority. He can do whatever he wants with the students. But in case of constructive classroom, teacher's role is interactive rooted in negotiation. So the teacher simply negotiates with students and he doesn't have much authority. Okay, he cannot do whatever he wants with the students. So and the next point, assessment is through testing and correct answers. Assessment includes students' work, observation, points of view, as well as test. Process is an important product. So here assessment, evaluation is done, how to provide marks and how to value the work of a student. That is in a traditional classroom, it is made by conducting tests and how far the student is able to give correct answers. But in case of constructive classroom, it is done by how far the student works hard, how far the student observes and he himself creates his own opinion, and how he is able to defend his opinion, he defends the hypothesis he prepared, and based on that evaluation is done. Assessment is done by teachers. Okay, so here knowledge is seen as inherent, that is already knowledge, and we have to disseminate the knowledge to the students. This is the principle of traditional classroom. But in case of constructive classroom, knowledge is seen as dynamic, ever-changing with our experiences. Okay, so in case of constructive knowledge is ever-changing. Okay, knowledge is not prepared by something for God or some great teachers and we have to simply follow it. Knowledge is not like that. We ourselves can construct knowledge and it is dynamic, it is changeable. Okay. Say for example, when I was studying 4th standard, I was taught so by my teacher that there are 9 planets in the solar system. But now today, students learn that there are 8 planets in the solar system. Okay, so this is let's say we cannot say that my teacher my teacher imparted wrong knowledge. எனக்கு வந்து என்னோட டீச்சர் வந்து தப்பா சொல்லிட்டாங்க அப்படின்னு கிடையாது. அல்லது இப்போ உள்ள ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸுக்கு there are 8 planets in the solar system அப்படின்னு தப்பா சொல்லி கொடுத்துட்டு இருக்காங்க அப்படின்னும் எடுத்துக்க முடியாது. Okay, so why? Because scientists discovered more dwarf planets. Likewise, scientists discovered more planets, and they are far away from sun. Okay, and they are much more smaller than our moon itself. Pluto is half the size of our moon. Okay, so when actually the dwarf planet like Iris Ceres was discovered in 2006. In 2006 only scientists discovered. And actually they planned to include, there are 14 planets in our solar system, but after doing lots of research, there are much differences between Pluto, Iris, Ceres, and we cannot name them as planets because they are small and they are far away and they don't have the typical features of regular planets. And therefore, at the same time, they also revolve around the sun. So therefore, we can simply brand them as dwarf planet. Pluto, we can include Pluto also dwarf planet. Only Neptune, only Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. We can include only these 8 planets as regular planets. Other 5 planets as dwarf planets. So later on only they discovered. So there is nothing. what I learned was also correct. What today, what now, what students learn also correct. It is correct in my age. என்னோட காலகட்டத்தில் அதான் கரெக்ட் அண்ட் இந்த காலகட்டத்தில் இதுதான் கரெக்ட். ஓகே, நான் 6th standard 4th standard படிக்கும்போது there were 9 planets in the solar system. அப்போ அது கரெக்ட். இப்போ 6th standard படிக்கிற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்டுக்கு வந்து there are 8 planets in the solar system அப்படின்னு சொல்றது தான் கரெக்ட். ஓகே, so knowledge is changeable, knowledge is dynamic. நீங்க you construct knowledge, you say your opinion. Okay, so I also said that it is because sexual harassment has nothing to do with women's dress code. So this is the statement and it is also proved statement. It is knowledge, but in future everyone will say, everyone will change. No, sexual women's dress code matters a lot. It is because of women's dress code only sexual harassment takes place. அப்படின்னு கூட மாறும். Okay, so இப்ப இந்த காலகட்டத்தில் this knowledge is correct. And you, when you have this opinion, no, women's dress code has matters a lot. It is because of women's dress code only all sexual harassment happens. If you have this opinion, you do research. என்னோட ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் என்னோட ஒப்பீனியன் கரெக்ட் தான் அப்படின்னு யூ கலெக்ட் டேட்டா, யூ டூ ரிசர்ச், நல்லா ஆராய்ச்சி பண்ணி அண்ட் யூ ப்ரூவ் that my opinion is correct. இது பக்காவா ரிசர்ச் பண்ண பிறகுதான் இது வந்து ஓகே திஸ் இஸ் நாலேஜ். இது மாறும், அது இன் ஃபியூச்சர் இது வந்து மாறுறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. அண்ட் ஆஃப்டர் டூயிங் லாட்ஸ் ஆஃப் ரிசர்ச் they make this statement. Okay, so therefore knowledge is ever changing and ever dynamic, and I cannot simply say என்னோட டீச்சர் வந்து there are 9 planets in the solar system அதுதான் கரெக்ட், அவங்களாம் தப்பா சொல்றாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. அதையே பிடிச்சிட்டு நான் உங்ககிட்டயும் திணிக்க முடியாது, அது தப்பா அப்படி இருக்கும். ஓகே, நாலேஜ் இஸ் எவர் சேஞ்சிங், நாலேஜ் இஸ் டைனமிக் ஒன். நான் சொல்றேன் அண்ட் இப்ப நான் சொன்னது கரெக்டா தப்பா அப்படின்னு நீங்க ஃபீல்ட் ஒர்க் பண்ணி நீங்க ரிசர்ச் பண்ணி இது பண்ணுங்க அப்படின்னு தட் இஸ் செட் டு பி கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்டிவ் நாலேஜ், கன்ஸ்ட்ரக்டிவ் கிளாஸ் ரூம். பட் ஹியர் நான் சொல்றது தான் கரெக்ட் அண்ட் அதான் ஃபாலோ பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றது ட்ரெடிஷனல் கிளாஸ் ரூம். ஓகே, அண்ட் final point, students work primarily around student working group. So this is the last important point, that is when students study, okay, multiplication table, A for apple, all alphabets, அவங்க தனியா உட்கார்ந்து தான் படிப்பாங்க. But in case of constructive classroom, students work in group. Okay, students okay, இது நீங்க ஒரு டீம், உங்களுக்கு இந்த டாபிக், உங்களுக்கு இந்த டாபிக், you do research and you yourself find out the answer. So students work in group, that is feature of constructive classroom. But in case of traditional classroom, students study all alone. தனியா படிச்சாதான் இன்னும் கரெக்டாகவும் படிக்க முடியாது. Okay, so that is, let me prepare one more video on constructive learning and overall higher studies அது வந்து constructive learning compulsion. At the same time முடிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் constructive learning ஸ்கூல் லெவலே கொண்டு வர்றது ரொம்ப நல்லது. ஓவரால் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் வந்து ஒரிஜினல் திங்கரா ஆக்கணும், அதுதான் மெயின் பர்பஸ். ஓகே, so and obviously the question is give your opinion about constructive learning. Give your opinion about constructive learning or give your opinion about constructivism. Okay, so that's all. Thank you.